You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days of Our Lives fans, there's been a lot of buzz about who's in that big sci-fi test tube that Dr. Rolf is about to resurrect. Could it be Lexi Carver back from the dead in an epic twist that will stun all of Salem? It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we're going to dive into who is the human guinea pig in that twisted test tube. Dr. Rolf is planning to re-alive a DiMera in the new lab, and it may be Theo's long-dead mom. We've got so much to discuss. Please click subscribe, and let's get into it. So there's been a lot of speculation about who Dr. Rolf is currently working on in EJ's secret lab. We've been expecting Stefano 2.0 based on the hints dropped over the last year. I doubt EJ and Rolf went to all the trouble to bring back someone random just to take that off the table. It's got to be somebody that is a DiMera or important to the DiMeras to justify all this trouble. So it looks like the Versavix experiments are going to not just bring back Bo Brady from the Almost Dead, but also someone else jaw-dropping who was legit dead, and we do suspect it's Lexie. Other possible candidates could be Andre DiMera or Abigail DiMera or Adrian Kyriakis. But what if EJ and Rolf are bringing back Lexi Carver? Now, the role was portrayed quite iconically by Renee Jones from 1993 until 2012, and then a little comeback visit, I think around 2021. So if you don't remember her, Lexie is the late wife of Abe Carver, the love of his life, and she is Theo's mom. Lexie was the daughter of Stefano DiMera and his psychic sidekick, Celeste Perot. And their daughter Lexie was a Salem PD cop and then later a doctor, and she tried so hard not to be a wicked DiMera. Tragically, when Theo was little, Lexie was having all these headaches, and she found out she had an inoperable brain tumor, and it was caused by toxic fumes she was exposed to when Andre had kidnapped her. So Lexie died in Abe's arms during a backyard picnic. That was June 28th, 2012. And then Lexie's spirit came back to reunite with Abe when he was on his deathbed in 2021. And then, of course, he came back from the brink. So like has been done before, Rolf may have cryogenically frozen Lexie, hoping one day to find a cure and resurrect her. So right now, Rolf and his lab assistant, Mark Green, are studying the effects of Versavix on the brain. And Rolf is trying to reanimate dead mice using Versavix mixed in with his old Resurrection super serum, which did bring other Salemites back to life. But in the past, it was only those who had just died that could be resurrected. If it was too long, Rolf would be like, I can't do it. So Lexie, though, she's long dead. So this would be a whole new thing. With Theo back, with them recasting him and putting him on the front burner, that is another big red flag that his mom, Lexie, may be the one in the tube and coming back to Salem soon. Plus, Abe actually name-dropped Lexie several times recently, saying she wouldn't want Theo running DiMera Enterprises or involved with her family. And another motive for EJ to revive his dead half-sister could be, possibly personal redemption. Lexie is one of the few good DiMeras, but another thing to consider is maybe EJ's not looking for redemption and is looking for revenge. We all know how much he hates Paulina Price, and Lexie was the love of Abe's life. So if Lexie came back from the dead, Abe might not have a choice. He may go, oh no, I got to get back with Lexie, and he may toss Paulina to the curb. And in the big mega promo, EJ had brought Paulina down into the secret lab, and he shows her who's inside the big glowing tube, and boy does she look shocked. And Paulina doesn't have a ton of experience with a lot of dead DiMeras because she's a newer character on the canvas, but she would definitely know who Lexie is, and that would blow her mind. And there's not a lot of other people that would be in the tube that EJ would even bring Paulina down there to see. So if it is Lexie coming back from the dead, Her resurrection would ignite big drama for Abe and Paulina. And don't forget, EJ also blames Paulina for keeping him away from Johnny and EJ's new grandson, Trey. And, the question is EJ petty enough to crush Paulina by yanking Lexie from the grave? Of course he is. Also, in the big promo, Theo has some sort of very serious medical crisis. He is looking in bad shape and he's at University Hospital. So what would be doubly wild is if Rolf had Lexie on ice all this time and then EJ saw an opportunity to bring Lexie back to do Paulina dirty. But then imagine if Lexie is back to life and Abe is stunned to have his soulmate back, but then he loses her again. Maybe Theo is so sick that he's going to need a heart transplant or something like that. I could see Lexie sacrificing herself so her precious son, Theo, could live. And what's really twisted is that would break Abe's heart. And EJ might actually enjoy that too, because he's pretty angry at Abe for also helping keep him away from Johnny, and that Abe is the only granddad in baby Trey's life right now. So whether it's for redemption or revenge, I'm very interested to see if EJ and Rolf have Lexie in that tube, and like her dad, the Phoenix, she rises from the grave.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.